Hello, and welcome back to the Code and the Coins. And today we are going to be discussing financial scams and fraud. This is kind of a piggyback off of the last podcast that we had going on where we were talking about the ins and outs of the tax industry and how everything has changed. Well, today, we've got some juicy tidbits and some personal experience about how fraud has impacted not only our lives, particularly, but then also just how it impacts the industry and the consumer, and things that you guys can do to alleviate fraud and come from up under that thumb. Because if you are a victim of identity theft, if you've been scammed, then you know it's not just as simple as proving that it's not you all the time.
Mhm.
So,
Exactly.
let's jump right into it. Last year in 2022, 2.4 million consumers reported over $8.8 billion in fraud. All right. So that's $8.8
Right.
billion. That is crazy
Yeah.
when you think about it. That means, well, let's see. It was a 30, first, let's start off. It was a 30% increase over 2021, right?
Mhm.
So 2021, it was only $5.8 billion of fraud. So we increased an additional $3 billion. The scammers are just really at work outside,
Yeah.
and it's um it's detrimental also, I believe, like to the value of our dollar. It kind of like trashes the entire economy, particularly because even when you are primarily scammed, money doesn't retain here in the United States.
Does not.
A lot of those call centers that are on auto dialer that work to scam people are not located in the United States. Although
There are
the
some.
Nigerian prince scam was actually found out to be a gentleman that was located in Louisiana.
Oh Lord. Why you gotta be here though? Why you gotta be here, sir?
It was like a 70-year-old white man that was
Wow.
located in Louisiana that was actually running the Nigerian prince scam. So $8.8 billion, $3.8 billion of that was in investment scams, which is kind of like Ponzi schemes. Give me your money. We're going to do a return on it, so on and so forth. So that has definitely taken an uptick, right?
Right.
So common client scams, right? So first, let's define financial scams and fraud. Financial scams are the intentional act of deception that results in a financial loss to the victim. So you think you're getting something, you may be paying for something, you may think that you're donating money, you might even think that you're paying your own bills or sending
Mhm.
money to a friend or relative who may be destitute. It kind of depends on what the con is. But there are
Mhm.
several cons. They've been around since the beginning of time. And it's just basically designed to work you out your funds, right?
Yeah.
So there are phishing scams. There are emails that you can get. There are robocalls, people that call and say, hey, do you want to donate to the police fund? I never donate to that crap. We don't
No.
have any issues with being able to fund our police out here. But you might get, they kind of pull on the heartstrings. Do you want to adopt a child? Do you know what I mean? There's like all kinds
Adopt a puppy. Those ones, especially around Christmas.
um email phishing scams. You open up the email, you click on the link, you think it may be your PayPal account. They may be telling you that you're locked out of your bank account, and it has the Bank of America logo up in the corner, but it's really not Bank of America. So when you go to this cloned website and you enter your details, they now have your login information, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And all hell breaks loose.
Yes. I have a Bank of America scam that happened to me. So
Please, by all means, divulge.
oh, okay. So Bank of America is very independent in collecting their money from their customers. Okay. They don't need collection agencies. So whoever's listening, please know that Bank of America handles their own business. So long story short, I had someone contact me saying that I owed Bank of America. And I was like, at first I was like, well, maybe I do. It was back in the day. I probably owe them 7 years, maybe. I don't know. So called my older sister, told her about it. She's like, I don't feel right about it. Don't send them anything. Didn't listen to her because the woman ran me all of my information and stuff like that. And she was a fast talker. And I believe that she was from the States, you guys. So talking to the woman, got everything set up. I made 2 payments to them. And then something told me, call this woman and talk to her. So I called to make another payment. And I said, can I ask you a question? I said, can you give me the date, the time and location of where I opened this account? Couldn't give it to me. She said, "Oh, when I put in your information, it updated the system, so it wiped it all out." I said, "Well, that's impossible if you're a collection agency. You should still have that information." She was like, "Well, no, I don't." I said, "Yeah, there's a problem here." I said, "I've given you two payments already." I said, "Okay." I said, "Tell me where I lived in 1998. Tell me exactly where I lived."
Yeah, what's the address on the
Couldn't tell
account?
me. She was like, "Well, we only have your Louisiana address." I said, "Oh, okay, no problem. I'll call you back." Called Bank of America, told them what happened. She said, "Ma'am, we do not need any collection agency to collect for us. We do it on our own. We are the only bank that does it on our own." I said, "Oh, okay." So I gave them the information, told them what was happening, who these people were. So when I called them back, their front house answered. I said, "Get me on the phone right now with this particular person. You guys scammed me." So they sent me on to her. I lit into her. I mean, lit into
No,
her.
you did. You got that mouth too.
Man, and I said, "I know I can't get my money back." I said, "But please believe all the harassment that you gave me, I'm gonna give it right back. Do not call me again." So I think I called her for about a week. I'm pretty sure I scared that woman. Every time she opened her voicemail, I was on it. Then not even 6 months later, they tried it again, Tamika. They tried it again.
Do you
And
remember
then,
the name of the collection company?
huh?
You remember the name of the collection company?
I don't, but I'm pretty sure I have it written down somewhere because I stay writing stuff on scratch paper, and
Mhm.
keeping it for years. I'm just weird like that. But they
Yeah.
tried it and then made the mistake of saying, "Well, you already made two payments." I said, "Y'all again." "Oh, okay." I said, "You really messed up, lady. Why did you just tell me I made two payments? You guys are scammers. Do not call me. Don't."
How much money did they get you for?
They got me for $114.
That's so crazy.
That's not that. And the thing is, that's a lot of money to someone who just lost their parent, is trying to build everything back. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to scratch and survive. $114 is a lot of money.
It is.
You
It
know?
is.
Yeah, just
What else is a
mm-mm.
lot of money if you ain't got it?
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's just be
You know what I'm
clear. You know what I mean?
saying?
I'm still the
Mhm,
type
mhm.
of person where I was debating if I was gonna buy this coffee this morning.
Yes, because listen, you see, I made mine. Like it's scary, you guys. Like you can be scammed at any freaking moment. You have to question everything. If you call me saying this is so and so, can you verify your name and social? No, I need you to verify it. You called me.
Yes. I refuse to give out information over the phone, especially
Yeah.
people, if you're incoming and you're calling, I'm not going to verify. I told you what my name is. My name is this. Yes, please go ahead. Whatever
Hmm.
business do you have? And I've had people hang up on me, and that's fine. No
Hmm.
problem. Please send all of your whatever information that you need from me. It's perfectly fine for it to go through the mail. And if you keep calling me, I'm
Yeah,
going to report you to the FTC.
that's right.
So,
Exactly.
did you actually get a chance to report them?
I did, and when it was tried again with another company that tried to collect on something, I was like, "I'm gonna need you to send me a correspondence through the mail." And then also, I said, "I don't have a debt with you. I have a debt with the original creditor."
Mhm.
I said, "So you calling me is not working." "Well, that's not how it works, ma'am." I said, "Obviously, you thought I was stupid." I said, "Again, I don't have a debt with you in particular. You bought the debt. Legally, I don't have to talk to you.
At all?
I can call the company directly and ask them, is there an account with my name on it?"
Now,
And I hung
sometimes
up
the
in their face.
company will direct you back to, whomever they sold the debt to because they've been
Mhm,
compensated. It may no longer be their account. But
mhm.
generally, most debt collectors don't buy the account in its entirety. They buy it on a percentage or a sliding scale. So there is a
Mhm.
certain amount of money that they have to send to the original creditor, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I always tell people, please check the legitimacy of the company that is offering you the
yes.
deal or whatever the case may be. If you do find yourself in a situation where you're in a collections account, you want to get the original information
Mhm.
from the debt collector. Send me a copy of the original contract. Also, I know this is kind of like jumping into the credit space a little bit, but we're good with that. Send me a copy of the original contract. Let me know how much the original debt is. If there
Yes,
is any money that you are charging in excess of the original debt, I need you to break that out. And if you do come to a deal with them, you want to make sure that you get that deal in writing. Say, for example, you
yes.
say, okay, yeah, 2020, 2020 was a bad year. Okay. It was a bad year for a lot of people. So there are probably
Mhm.
people that have collections, specifically like medical and all of that good stuff that's sitting on your credit. If you can't make a deal
Mhm.
for a pay for delete, just make sure that you get it in writing or at least it's recorded so that you have to be able to have the backup. Um,
Yeah.
if you guys encounter any issues with being where you feel like you're being scammed or you're being led astray, you want to reach out to the FTC. You want to go to ftc.gov, and over in the right hand corner, there is a big blue box that says file a claim. Make sure you click
Yeah.
that button and file a claim, because the only way for us to really be able to combat these scams is if we kind of know where they're coming from. Now,
Yes, exactly.
if you are of our age, we're touching on 40s door. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? We were born in the 80s, so we're
Yes.
the 40 to the early 30 generation right up in
Yes.
here.
Mhm.
Most of our parents,
Oh, girl,
some of
tell the
our
people.
parents, you know what I mean, may not have been the most fiscally responsible. I've
Mhm.
encountered a lot of people, and I have actually been a victim as well. When I got of age, there was a PG&E bill in my name, and I was just like, "Wait a minute! I have never had PG&E in my entire life. Like, what the heck is going
Right.
on?" There are ways for you to be able to combat that, right? First, the debt
Yes.
has to make sense. I can't be an 8-year-old with PG&E, so that PG&E bill that was in my name in 1988, come on off that, right? So there
Right.
are ways for you to be able to get around it. But if it sounds like it's too good to be true,
It probably
you've
is.
seen the comments that are in Facebook or Instagram. If you cash at me $100, I'll turn it into 1,000. There's no way that that is.
I fell victim to that too,
You know
y'all. I
what I mean?
did.
If you the job posts that you may see on LinkedIn or Facebook,
Mhm.
or it used to be really big on Craigslist. Someone would hire you for a
Yes.
job, but they had all these other vendors that they had to pay. And if they could just send you a check for the full amount and you could cut the check to all of the other vendors because you were going to be their personal assistant, complete scam.
Yep. Yep. Or either they tell you to what they tell you to let them send money into your personal account,
Hmm.
and then you'll send it back. That happened to my mother.
Hmm.
Completely messed her account up. They closed the account with her money in it that had money for a job that we had to do. And then the FBI showed up at our business.
I'm pretty sure they did.
It was bad.
That is horrible.
Yeah.
I know that, I mean, the phishing scams, they just never stop. Some people will call and say, "Hey, we're going to cancel your social security number." Can you imagine being an elderly person and not really all that computer adept, and someone calls you on the phone and tells you, "We're going to cancel your social security number if you don't pay this debt right now,"
Right.
or, "We're going to seize your home because you
Oh,
owe
yeah.
the IRS $40,000 in back taxes. And if you don't transfer it right now," they put a sense of urgency into you. If you
Yeah.
don't do this right
Yeah.
now, then, XYZ is going to happen and it's going to be really bad for you. And they really
Exactly.
prey on our older generation of people
Yes. Yes, they do.
and disabled people, non-able bodied people, I should say. Um, or people who have neurodivergency can fall victim to it. You know what I mean? Just because of the
Yeah.
stress. Someone calls me and
Yeah.
tell me I owe them $30,000, even though in my right mind I know it ain't nobody walking this planet. You know what I mean? But the
Exactly.
urgency of, oh my
Mhm.
God, the butterflies in my stomach. What do I do? How do I fix this? Well, instead of the $30,000, you can settle right now for 10. Oh, well, that sounds like a damn good deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, it's crazy. Scams that clients try to pull.
Oh, yeah. Let's jump into that one.
Um, so lowballing, you know what I mean? Clients
Mhm.
know exactly what it is that's necessary. They don't want to pay for bookkeeping. They know that they've been quoted, $1,000 a month for bookkeeping, but they will not do it and then shove it in a tax person's face at the end of the year and expect you to
Yeah.
do a return for $250 with 16,000 receipts. Nobody knows,
Yeah.
sir, no ma'am.
Uh-huh.
We got some crazy looking documents sent over this tax season, 1099s that did not have complete information, W-2s that had like zero withholding or separate amounts in boxes 1, 3, and 5. People claiming children or dependents that they knew that they had no right to.
Right.
People trying or attempting to get credits that they don't qualify for, such as what was big this year. Schedule H was huge. Full
Mhm.
service credit was huge.
Yeah.
I've helped some people, to fit some returns because The letters are coming out.
Yeah.
Those letters come
Yeah,
out
they
and
come
say,
out.
"Hey, listen, can you prove this?"
Exactly.
Another huge scam that is going to be mucking people up, that ERC credit.
Oh God. Yes. Yes, it will. And they're gonna be crying, calling, can you help me? Can you help me? It's like, yeah, we can help you, but you should have done it right in the first
Did
place,
you
like we told
did
you
you
to.
attend that course that I sent everybody to for the ERC?
Did I do
Did you go
what?
to the teaching the course that I sent everyone to?
I didn't get it. I didn't get you. You sent an
I
invite?
sent an invite, so I know that
Okay.
Kareen, Roxanne, and Tamita for sure went. I don't know if Tamia went. To my,
Wait, did you email it or you sent it
it
in
was,
the
I
messenger?
sent it in the messenger group. It was like during the peak of tax season. I was like, "Hey, listen, you guys go to this ERC training," and I sent you guys the link for it.
That's right. Okay. I want to say one of them. Okay, I remember Tamita went.
Yeah,
She was supposed to record it because we were all on the phone
she
together.
didn't record
And
it.
then,
She actually hit
yeah,
me up
somebody
a couple
else
days
did.
ago and was like, "Hey, do you have the recording?" And I was like, "Baby, I sent y'all. I didn't go." I had no interest in having any and zero parts in regards to the ERC because I don't have any clients that qualify, and I'm damn sure not going to touch anyone else's information because I don't know if you qualify.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? There's so many ways for you to be able to present that fraudulently that I'm just not going to put my name on it.
right.
And then you've got these predatory companies. Anytime you see pop-ups, people
Mm-hmm.
that you know for a fact was not doing that, if they built their business around, um how do I say this? People who build their businesses or they specifically kind of tailor their services around what's new and what's hot, like how people were not doing taxes. They were not interested in bookkeeping until the pandemic happened. And now we've got
Yeah,
these PPP loans and these SBA loans, and now everybody and their mama is a financial expert. Let me help you get
right.
your PPP. It was people doing PPPs. They didn't know how to do their taxes the previous year.
I know. I know people buying cars and stuff with it. And it's like, wait a minute, how did you get a PPP loan, but someone who's a real struggling business
It
can't
was
get
like,
it? What lie did you
I
tell?
did your taxes last year, sweetie. There was no schedule C, D, E, or F. There was nothing
Mm-mm,
attached to it. Or the
mm-mm.
7702 credit. You have a
Yes,
W-2, you don't qualify.
right. And the one thing I love about our tax system is that the system's going to catch it. If we put in all your information, the system is already running it. So by the time we get to the end, it tells you this person does not qualify for this, and this. Okay, perfect. Returns finished. As long as you catch it, I'm good to go. So the one thing that's like I said that I like about it is it catches everything. It really does take the whole stress out of a lot of stuff. Because I'm typing in what you have, the system's going to catch it. So I always ask people, is this accurate information? Because if it's not, the system is going to catch it and kick it
I
out.
agree.
Period.
I personally am a victim of identity theft. And
Hmm.
this had nothing to do with like the PG&E bill that was in my name. That was actually just a relative, you know what I mean, that couldn't get the
Yeah.
PG&E on. So I was able to get that rectified. And,
Yeah.
it was, I was no worse for the wear, but I
Hmm.
definitely appreciate the fact that I've never had to do anything crazy like financial crimes to my children.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh
Um,
my God.
but it's really crazy when you know that I got married for the first time when I was extremely young. I was 18 when I got married, and
Yeah.
I had driven up to my grandparents' house coming from my house. I lived in SoCal,
Hmm.
and I got a piece of mail. My grandpa was like, "Hey, there's a piece of mail on the table for you." Now I've been living away from home for a couple years at this point, so
Yeah.
there's really
Yeah.
no reason for me to be getting mail there, right? It
Yeah.
was from the post office. So I open up the post office mail, and there is a letter in there, and I still have it. I kept it
Wow.
because I was just like, it blew me away. There was a letter in
Right.
there, and it had a copy of my driver's license and a copy of my husband at the time's driver's license. It was a picture of it, and it said, "Your identity has been compromised. We caught, yes, we
Wow.
caught your information in a package that was being transported. It was on its way to India, and it was a copy it was a printout, and it had a copy of my ID, and there was a copy of my social, and they had blacked out the information. But the post office had literally intercepted this package that was on its way out of the country that had a copy of all of my details, me and my husband. Since then,
How on earth did they think to catch that though?
well, so identity theft. is, again, it's $1 billion industry, right?
It
So there are certain methods and inspection methods that the post office does have. My grandfather used to work for the post office, so when I showed it to him, he was like,
okay.
"Oh yeah, like they apparently mail undergoes certain different types of testing. There's different addresses that are flagged,
Yeah.
just for like high fraud crimes, to my understanding, they do reserve the right to open up packages that they feel."
Yes, they do.
That they feel have it, that they have issues or contraband or whatever the case may be. And
Yes.
when you declare the information, when you go to send the package, you're pretty much declaring that that there's no hazardous materials and that everything that's in here has the ability to be shipped. But when you're shipping stuff through the post office, it's a government entity.
Yes. Hmm.
And
So if y'all send the wrong stuff, you're gonna be in federal prison. I'm just
yes,
telling you now.
yes. And that's what I was going to say. It's federal time and federal crime. So
Hmm.
that package was intercepted, and I've just been like really completely shook since then. And that was just the beginning of a very
Yeah.
long line of hurdles that I had to jump through in order for me to combat my identity theft. And it didn't just happen once. So some people think like, oh, my identity was compromised one time, and it's been so much. Now, Experian has come out with this very convenient thing where you can lock your credit report, right? So no one can
Yeah.
check my credit. And if things happen, I actually get an alert. Like it'll say, hey, we found your password on the dark web, or we found your
Hmm.
email on the dark web, or whatever the case may be. And that just kind of gives me the heads up to go in and make adjustments. Change my passwords, update my trapper keeper, all of that good stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
With all of that being said, I just want to like let people know the process that needs to happen when you become a victim of identity theft. First thing that you want to do is file a claim with the FTC and then make a police report.
Yes.
Make that police report and make as many police reports as you deem necessary. I update my police report consistently. I almost didn't
Really.
have the opportunity to get an EFIN because someone that I was a roommate with when I was young, I was displaced from my house kind of early. I moved out when I was about 16 years old. And I moved in with a
Hmm.
girl, and we were friends, or so I thought, or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
But she actually ended up, we got into it as girls tend to get into it. And when it
Yes.
was time for me to leave her place, she didn't want me to get my stuff. So I had to call my mama, you know what I mean? And Big Nicky had to go on over there and tell little sis,
Yeah.
you're going to have to come up off my daughter's stuff. So I was able to get my stuff back. We were squared away, or so I thought, but the girl had actually went to jail in my name. Now, this child didn't look nothing like
Oh my
me.
God.
If you guys, if you
Really.
guys knew Tamika in 1999, Tamika in 1999 was about this thick. So she was a plus size girl. She was actually
Hmm.
shorter. No, I was shorter than her. She was taller than me. She was very fair skinned, and she had like hazel green eyes. Okay. So life has done me
Wow.
really funny somehow along the way. Never have bleached my skin, but I am particularly, my face is lighter than the rest of my body, but I've always been a very
Hmm.
brown skinned girl. So me being a brown skinned girl, brown hair, brown eyes, you know what I mean? And it's extremely petite at the time. I was like a size zero. There was no way that you could have thought this person was me if you arrested this person. So I didn't actually find out that this happened. This all transpired back in 1998,
Wow.
between 97 and 98. And I didn't find out that this happened until 2014. No, no, no. About 2014 is when the situation came up. And I had to drive down to San Diego and go and show them my ID, my social security card, my birth certificate. I had to go to the sheriff's department. And then they got a chance to look at the mugshot from the person that they arrested. And then they compared it to me, and they were just like, okay, yes, this is not you. And I'm like, yeah, all Black people don't look alike.
Girl,
You know, we, we absolutely don't. Like this
you
girl is
don't.
like 5'10". I'm 5'6" with shoes on. Like I
Yeah.
gotta put on, I have to put
Yeah.
on shoes with some
Yeah.
bottoms.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus.
But there's no way in the world. And it's kind of funny because now that I'm older and I've had children, my body is filled out and I'm in my adult body, our
Hmm.
faces actually could be a little bit similar. You know what I mean? I've put on roughly about 40 pounds, 40 to 50 pounds since high school. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
don't weigh 130 pounds anymore. So
Right.
With
Right.
that being said, now it's like, oh yeah, you kind of probably could pass for Jamie, but yeah, not then, not ever. I was like, baby, and then she had like this really long, pretty hair, and I had my Tony Braxton cut. I was like, y'all was absolutely insane for even
Right.
believing that this child was me.
Right. Right.
But that just goes to show you that a lot of the issues that come up with identity theft is just people not doing their due diligence and checking.
hmm
Because when you
hmm
put her, why didn't you pull my ID, boo?
That part. Exactly.
But, so also just knowing that when she went to jail at the time, I was a minor and she was not a minor. So she literally was a grown ass person sitting in juvenile hall.
I cannot. I cannot. I'm dead. She tried it. She really did.
No, well, no, she accomplished it. She definitely accomplished it. I didn't know that it was holding me back. It wasn't a conviction, but it was enough because it was a burglary that had happened.
Oh
And I
my
don't know the
God.
particular details. I don't know if they had ran into a store or what happened for that burglary charge to happen. I just know that it was holding up my damn future. So I had
Yeah.
to jump in a car and drive a few hundred miles in order for me to get that squared away. So it's always important for you to make sure that you're reporting the information to the
Yeah.
FTC so that they're aware of what the scams are, getting the police report and updating it. So when that situation happened, I had to go back. I probably have about 4 or 5 police reports and I have to update my FTC complaint pretty often and probably like every 3 to 4 years. And I just have to remain diligent. Now you would think, well, why couldn't you get a new social security number?
It don't work like that.
It does not work like that. A lot of
Mm-mm.
people are under the impression that you can just go get your new social security number, or the new hustle is, we'll just get a CPN. Baby, that's just more fair time.
Exactly.
I'm not
Exactly.
going to go to jail to keep from going to jail.
Right. I mean, because make it make sense. Like, it's like people, you got to definitely make sure, like she said, do your due diligence, check things. I've had companies tell me, okay, well, since your mom signed up for these bills in your name, just do a police report. I said, okay, I could do that. She's dead. So you tell me who gonna laugh who out of the building. Like, she's dead.
You can still do the police report. It will remove the information from your record because it's proven that it's not you. And now that your mom has actually passed on, she couldn't go to jail for
No. And that's what I told them that. I said, she can't go to jail. Because trust me, I
it.
put her there. I don't have a problem. No,
So
'cause you're right. How can someone have a future if someone has already used your information to ruin it? Like you're taking away a person's option to choose their future. You've already chosen poverty for them.
it's one of the reasons why financial literacy is so important.
Exactly.
I firmly feel that if people knew better, that they would actually really have the opportunity to be able to do better.
hmm
I always recommend making sure that you update your passwords on a consistent basis. Change
Yes.
your passwords. I know I have it bad. Please do not name your password after your dog and your birthday. Don't
Right.
use regular passwords. Google Suite is amazing. If you've got Google, you can literally use a secure password and it will remember it not only on your computer, but also on your phone.
All your devices.
So you're not sitting here like brain farting trying to remember what your password is.
Exactly.
Use antivirus. If you're
Yeah.
not working on an Apple product, if you're a PC person, get the antivirus protection. AVG is literally free. There's no reason for you not to have
It's
that.
called ABG.
AVG.
AVG. I'm gonna
And
look
it's
that one up.
completely free. I'll probably try to link it in the comments when we publish this. You also want to make sure that you're using a secure internet connection,
Yes.
particularly for the tax pros, because we know that certain softwares are online, so you can pretty much work from anywhere. Make
hmm
sure you're working on your own internet connection so that you're not only not compromising your information, you're not compromising your client's information. So you don't want to use public Wi-Fi to access any personal financial information. So don't be logging into your bank account. Don't log into your password manager on a non-secure Wi-Fi
hmm
because there are literal Trojan horses that are set up on public Wi-Fi's that are designed to strictly get that information. So if you got to use a public computer, go to the library. They have a
Exactly.
secure server.
Yes. Yes, they
It
do.
is completely crucial to educate yourself and stay informed about the latest scams and frauds. So the FTC's website is a wealth of resources. You can log on to there, and it will tell you all of the stuff that you need to know. That's why it's so important that we report so that they can let us know. You know what I mean? So we can know.
Yes.
Like Social Security, about 6 or 7 years ago, the Social Security calling people was huge. The
Yeah.
IRS very rarely calls anyone. And if
Hmm.
they're not calling from the call center, if you're speaking to an IRS agent, it's because you have a taxpayer advocate or because
Yes.
you're under investigation.
Yes.
Plain or simple. So
Hmm.
unless your case has been escalated either by the Internal Revenue Service directly or by yourself because you need an advocacy, then the IRS ain't calling you, boo boo. So you don't have to
Right.
worry about them calling and saying that you owe them something. But scammers have gotten really good. They now are making IRS letters with the little treasury letterhead over here in the corner. So you want to make sure that if you're going to be paying someone, that you're calling them directly. Say, oh yeah,
Hmm.
I really appreciate that. I'll make sure that I'll make this payment right away. Hang up and call back.
Hmm.
Hang up and call
Hmm.
back. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna give nobody 2 pennies, let alone 200 of
Yep.
anything, without verifying that information.
Exactly.
Make sure that you freeze your accounts regularly. Change your passwords. I don't care how long it takes me to hold up in the line. I freeze all of my accounts, my bank account, my cash app. I freeze all of that stuff. And then I
Yeah.
open it up when it's time for me to be able to make a purchase because, especially if you use your phone to be able to pay, tap to pay.
Girl, you got me in all of my little financial envelope right now, locking my cards.
Well, here's what happens because if you use tap to pay, literally someone can bump into you
Wow, that's right.
and now you've tapped to pay.
Hmm.
So you want to make sure that you're being diligent. That's why I turn my cards off because I do have tap to pay. Square
Me
has like
too.
this little reader. Square has a little reader
Yes.
that you can put in your pocket. So I can bump into someone's purse and possibly have them tap to pay. That's a common scam that's going on. Another
Mhm.
scam is the readers that are located on gas stations or ATMs. You put
Yeah.
your card in and you're withdrawing money, but it's recording all of your information. We got to
Yeah.
stay diligent out here, guys. So we already know about filing the complaints. And then what else? Let's see. I think that's it. That's all I got for y'all today. I think that's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I read it, it was a pretty cut dry, very simple. But I think too, I think we probably need to come back around the corner, like circle around, because this particular subject matter has so many different
I know.
areas to unpack that a lot of people don't know about.
IP pins. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you have been a victim of identity theft and you feel like your information has been compromised, I also recommend that you reach out to the IRS directly. You go on their website, you type in I as in igloo, P as in Paul, PIN, PIN, and you
Hmm.
can get an IP pin not only just for yourself, you can get one for yourself and you can get one for your children if your
Yes.
information has been compromised. All right.
Yep.
That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. We definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope that this has been a wealth of resources for you. Take it away, B.
All right. Well, you guys, thank y'all so much for listening. We appreciate all of your support. Always remember, do your due diligence, double check, always call back, write down their name, the time that they called. So that way you have the information of the person that called you. So that way you can always just backtrack. You have something to hold on to. But I do pray that you guys are well. Please come back to listen to all the other information of wealth that we have for you guys.
All right, so that wraps up this particular one. The next one we're going to have is fighting the recession. We're gonna have to dig deep on that one
Ooh,
because
ooh, whew. That's fun. That's a fun topic. I'm not
the
mad at the
value
topic.
of the dollar is changing, and we're going to
Yes.
talk about it. All
Yes.
right, until next time.
Bye.